Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm really glad you're jumping in. This is another video in our series where I walk you step by step through how to build a real online business from scratch. If we haven't met yet, I'm Pez Elias. I've been in e-commerce for 17 years, sold millions online, and now I'm breaking everything down so you can start and grow your own online business. Today's video is the big picture overview, the full map of what it actually takes to start an online business the right way. Before we get into product research, validation, sourcing, and building your store, you need to understand the entire journey from start to finish. In this video, I'm breaking down the main stages, the order they happen in, and the core decisions that will shape everything you do next. If you've been wanting to start an online business, but you're not sure where to begin, this overview is going to give you the clarity and direction you've been missing. All right, let's jump in. So you're thinking about starting an online business. That's awesome. It's a really exciting idea, but let's be real. Turning that initial spark into an actual thriving company can feel a little overwhelming. That's why I put this together. Think of it as your blueprint, a clear path to get you from idea to launch and way beyond. This journey is just packed with potential. I mean, the digital marketplace is wide open. It doesn't matter if you're turning a hobby into a job or bringing a business you already have into the online world. The possibilities are endless. And here's the million-dollar question, right? How do you turn your passion into a profitable enterprise? Because it's not just about having a great idea, it's all about the execution. It's about having a clear step-by-step path to follow, taking you all the way from a cool concept to a happy customer. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. In this video, we've boiled the whole process down into a simple, actionable blueprint. We're going to walk through 4 essential phases that will guide you step by step from a simple idea to a business that can actually last and grow. First, you identify a viable idea. Next, you develop a smart, strategic plan. Then, you build your digital storefront. Finally, you operate and grow the business for long-term success. Each phase builds directly on the one before it, creating a clear path from idea to execution. Okay, let's dive right in with phase 1, finding your idea. This is ground zero. It's where we stop daydreaming and start laying a really solid foundation. We're talking about taking that little spark of inspiration and turning it into a concept that's actually ready for the real world. So one of the first big decisions is, what are you going to sell? Your products are probably going to fall into one of 2 buckets. On one side, you've got your commoditized products. These are the everyday essentials, like t-shirts or basic goods. On the other side, you have niche products, things that cater to a very specific crowd, like custom-made gear for a hobby. Now, here's a pro tip. The best strategy is often a mix of both. That way you get broad appeal and something that makes you stand out. All right, once you've got an idea, you have to get practical. Is this thing actually viable? I mean, really think about the logistics. If you're selling something super heavy or fragile, your shipping and packaging costs could eat up all your profit. Or what if your product is seasonal? That can create some serious cash flow headaches. And maybe the most important question, do you personally have the time and energy to handle it all? You have to ask these questions now. The whole goal of this phase is to land on an idea that isn't just cool, but is validated. Is your idea practically sellable, logistically manageable, and legally permissible? And that's the key to our very first milestone. That means people actually want it. You can get it to them without going broke, and you know it's legal to sell. Get those 3 things checked off, and you've got a rock-solid foundation. Okay, with a validated idea in your back pocket, it's time to build the strategy around it. Welcome to phase 2, crafting your plan. This is where you do all your homework. You're going to analyze the market and figure out exactly what you're getting into before you spend a single dime on a website. A huge piece of this plan is sizing up the competition, and it helps to break them down into 3 types. First, you have your primary competitors, the ones doing exactly what you're doing. Then there are secondary competitors who might sell similar stuff, but to a different crowd. And finally, tertiary competitors. These are businesses that are kind of in the same world as you. So like if you sell custom jewelry, a shop that sells gemstones would be a tertiary competitor. Mapping all 3 gives you the full picture. Another key part of this phase is understanding the legal considerations involved in setting up your new business. Now look, this might not be the most glamorous part of the journey, but it is absolutely essential. you have to protect your business legally. We're talking about things like general liability, insurance for accidents, product liability in case something goes wrong with your product, and maybe even workers' comp if you hire people. Just think of it as a safety net. It lets you build your business with real peace of mind. Now let's shift our focus to understanding our customer. In other words, you want to get intimately familiar with your target audience. So who are you actually selling to? You need to know your target audience inside and out. And I'm talking about more than just demographics, like their age or where they live. You need to get into the psychographics. What do they value? What's their lifestyle like? What problems are they trying to solve? When you can answer the question, why would they choose my product? That's when every single marketing dollar you spend starts working way, way harder. So the big milestone for phase 2 is just one word: clarity. You've done the research, you have a crystal clear picture of who you're up against, what your legal responsibilities are, and a super detailed profile of your ideal customer. This plan becomes your strategic compass for everything that comes next. All right, your plan is locked in, your strategy is sharp. Now, for the really fun part, phase 3, build your storefront. This is where your vision stops being a document and starts becoming a real, tangible thing that customers can actually visit online. First things first, how are you going to get your products? Each way of sourcing has its pros and cons. For example, dropshipping offers a very low-risk business model, but it typically comes with thinner profit margins. Buying wholesale gets you better margins, but you need cash up front. Making it yourself is awesome for creatives, but it's really tough to scale. And print on demand is super convenient, but again, you're looking at lower profits. Choosing the right one is totally key to your business model. Now let's shift gears and talk about the importance of clean, efficient website design. When a new visitor lands on your site, you only have a few seconds to capture their attention, typically just 3 to 5 seconds before they decide whether to stay or leave. Therefore, making a strong first impression in that short window is critical. If your store is clunky, slow, or looks unprofessional, poof, they're gone. This number right here is why great, user-friendly design isn't a luxury, it's an absolute necessity. Which brings us to our third milestone. By the time you finish this phase, you should have a fully functional, easy-to-use online store that is ready for business. And just as important, you need a solid, reliable process for actually getting your products from you to your customers' doorsteps. Okay, your store is built, it's ready to go, and it's easy to think the hard part's over, but launching is just the starting line. Now, we enter phase 4, operate and grow. This is where your focus shifts from the project of building a business to the ongoing process of running it, making it efficient and scaling it for the long haul. This is where we need to make an important mindset shift. The idea of designing a business with a successful exit in mind. This is such a powerful idea. Even if you never ever plan to sell your business, building it as if you were going to forces you to create something incredibly valuable. It makes you focus on creating good systems, strong finances, and a brand that can stand on its own, completely independent of you. It's a total game changer. And that's our final milestone. Getting your business running like a well-oiled machine with operations so smooth that it actually becomes a valuable, sellable asset. And you've got to pair that with a clear, data-driven strategy for how you're going to keep growing and making it even more valuable over time. So there you have it. The whole journey broken down into a clear 4-phase blueprint. So just to recap the 4 phases that we covered in this video. First, find a viable idea. Second, you craft a smart strategic plan. Third, you build your digital storefront. And fourth, you operate and grow that business for long-term success. See how each phase builds right on top of the last one? It's all about creating a solid foundation for a business that can really last. The path is laid out for you. The only question left is, what will you build? Thank you so much for watching. Before we wrap up, I want to share something real quick. When I started my first online business, I had no roadmap, I was guessing, piecing things together, and honestly, I doubted myself more times than I can count. But what kept me going was the decision not to quit, even when I didn't have all the answers. If you're watching this, you probably feel that same spark, the belief that you're meant to build something of your own. And I want you to know, you don't have to figure it out alone. That's why I created the How to Start an Online Business Master Academy course. It's the step-by-step guide I wish I had when I was starting out, with templates, tools, and real examples to make the journey clearer and so much less overwhelming. If you're ready to take that next step in your story, check out the link in the description. And if this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next part of the series. Your journey is just beginning. I'll see you in the next video or inside the Master Academy course. Thank you again.